up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video. Now this comes from a woman who says she has 7 kids and she's gonna have faith enough to manifest a man who's gonna come in and take care of her and her 7 kids. So I want you guys to hear what she have to say. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Also, if you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share and like the video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Let's get into the video.
Y'all got too many comments and I cannot address the comments enough. Y'all bashing me about having 7 kids and looking for somebody to help take care of them. What is the issue? As a single woman, am I supposed to just give up on life and not want to find a man that's going to help me and my kids? And 4 of my kids have dads. It's literally just 3 that I'm looking for help with. That's it. But I'm going live tonight at 10 or 10:30 because we're going to get to the bottom of this and I'm going to find me a man. Period.
We've seen too many cases like this where it's very difficult for these women to get a man with no kids, let alone with 7 altogether. A lot of women don't realize how serious this is. You know what I mean? I don't think they realize how important this is to men, and the fact that a lot of men don't want to come in and take care of somebody else's kids. Women kind of dismiss the idea that men are saying, hey, we want to take care of our own kids. We don't want to take care of somebody else's kids. If you want a man who's going to come in and be the head of the household and take care of the household and all of these kids, that's a major responsibility. That's a major deal. Just the idea of the mentality that a man would have to want to come into a household and take on all of these kids who are not his. That is not an easy task. That is not an easy task. And I think if more women thought about the idea of how men see this and how many men don't want to do this before they have all these kids, I think they probably wouldn't have them. I think they will probably wait until they can find a stable man or a husband who's going to be there for his kids and raise his kids with her in a stable home. That way you don't have to deal with this. But to not fully understand how detrimental this is to a man to have to come in and take care of this huge responsibility is insanity to me. How these women don't realize how big of a deal this really is. Once again, this goes back to a lot of women who don't really understand the nature of men, and you don't care about what men want. It was never a thought to consider what a man wants. It's always about the woman. You know, happy wife, happy life. Oh, let's just cater to women because that's what we're supposed to do as men, no matter how difficult it could be, no matter how this can affect us. There's never a thought about the man, but it's always about the women. And so I just think women don't realize how big of a deal that is. They really don't. And because they never put a lot of stock into it and they were just out here making babies and never thought about prioritizing husbands for their children and stable men who would not walk away from their children. So they keep making these poor decisions and keep blaming the men, and then turn around and want a responsible man to come in and take on all of that load. That would be a disservice to him, and that would be him settling for something that he don't have to settle for. These men don't have to come in and take care of you and all your kids. They don't. That is not something that is looked at as a prize. That is not looked at as something that men should be doing anymore. Back in the day, yeah, stepdaddies were praised for coming in and taking on all these kids with these ratchet women and just being a stepfather, and it never really benefited the majority of them, and their relationships always ended. So what did he really get out of that? Half the time the kids don't even recognize him. When the mothers and the stepdads break up, the children go their own way, and a lot of the kids already know that they have who their dads are, even though he's not around. You know that's not your daddy, so you treat him as such. Don't really have full respect for the man in most cases. Now there are a few cases where they've worked out, but the majority of them don't. And I just think it is a thankless job for a man to come in and spread his resources all over the place for all of these kids who are not his. And then on top of that, do he even get to create his own family? Do he even get to get a child of his own? Probably not. Because a lot of these women have 3, 4, 5. This lady have 7. Why do you think a man will want to come in and be responsible for all these children. And then if y'all break up, he could be put on child support, even, and all like that. There's no incentive whatsoever for a man to want to come in and take on all of that responsibility. And I think a lot of women are going to realize that more and more men don't want to do that. If you are a man and you got a good job and you're taking care of yourself and you got your own place and you can pay your bills perfectly fine and you living good, why would you walk away from that just to go get with a woman, just to have some woman around? But you have to spend all your money and bow down to this woman and take care on her and all her kids. Why would any man in his right mind choose to do that? And I don't care what kind of vagina you got, what type of woman you are, it just does not make any sense for a man to come in and take on you and that huge responsibility. And he's got to take care of these kids till they're grown. I just don't see the incentive for any man to do that. And I think a lot of these women are going to realize the hard way that men are not running to that anymore. These are not the men of yesteryear. These are not your grandfathers and you know how women like to say, we're not our grandmothers. Well, these are not your grandfathers. These are not your stepdaddies. These men don't want to become crash dummies to y'all kids. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person and your kids aren't taken care of and they're not, being disciplined. It's just that is a major responsibility. Having one child is a big responsibility. Now, you think a man will want to come in and take on that many kids? Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. This is 2025 and these men are not trying to do that. And you can manifest and think that you're gonna manifest all you want. The best option would be to go try to get back with one of them babies' daddies and try to at least have one of the children's fathers in the household, and y'all try to work that out, because it doesn't make any sense for a totally different man to have to come in and take care of all these kids. And I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't care. It's still too many for another man to have to come in. And then the expectation on this man is major. Like the expectation for him is much higher than any of the baby fathers. And you don't know if this man gonna have to contend with the baby daddies. It's more than one. If they gonna come over and be jealous, if it gonna start some shit, he don't know what he's in for. So what man will want to have to deal with that, or even the possibility of that, when he can have his own life and not have to deal with any of that and find a woman that doesn't have any kids and try and commit to her and have his own kids, and that way he have to deal with that. Hell, it's already hard enough for people in relationships with their children's mother. So why would they want to have to deal with a woman with all these kids, all these babies' daddies, and what could potentially come of that? I just don't see it happening. But once again, kudos to her, shout out to her. Hopefully she get what she wants. But I don't see it happening. There's a lot of women out here complaining about men not wanting to take them on and their kids. As soon as they go on a date and they find out they have kids, the men are out. They're ghosting out. Because they don't want to do it, and they shouldn't have to. Women don't understand it until it's their sons. When their sons are older and their sons saying, "Ma, I met this girl. I like her, but she got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies." Then you realize, oh hell no, I don't think you should go with her son. But you don't want to say that for yourself, because you want somebody who's going to come in and you want to take advantage of the opportunity if it permits itself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think too many men are going for that these days. You're just going to have to be comfortable with you and your baby daddies and live your life and be happy and just raise your kids and teach them better, so that they don't find themselves in this situation when they get older, so that they'll understand the importance of healthy, stable relationships and marriages, so that they don't go out here and make babies just willy-nilly with anybody that they're dating, but rather find a man who wants commitment, wants a family, and that way he'll marry you and build a real family with you, and y'all work from there, as opposed to having all these kids from all these men and then expecting some major simp at the end to come in and just take care of everybody. That ain't happening like that. So listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.